Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Tyler Merkovich with Emery Hunt-Azar, the playbook, bringing you a Big 12 North preview, which has been abysmal this season, but nonetheless, after accumulating a bunch of losses, these two teams, they still have a chance to make the Big 12 championship game. We have Bill Snyder's Kansas State Wildcats, who look like a totally different team compared to the beginning of the season, even though they had a disappointing loss at home against Missouri, against Nebraska, who has bounced back the last couple of weeks with two tough wins at home against Oklahoma and at Kansas, finally turning it around with one of the best prospects in the nation, defensive tackle Damakung Su. And Kansas State, you know what they do. They like to run the ball with Daniel Thomas here. What are your keys to victory? I don't know if the quarterback can make enough plays in the passing game, which is hurting them. They really need to find someone who can stretch the defense and keep defenses honest. So what are your keys to victory?
Well, that's what they had to do. You brought it up. They're going to have to make plays vertically to defeat. They're not going to be able to run the ball against Nebraska. So second option, make big play in the special teams, or attack these guys vertically. You're going to have to make plays in the passing game, loosen up their coverage, then you'll be able to have success with Thomas up the middle. Well, not really up the middle because Damakung Su is right there, but you're going to have some success in the running game if and only if you can stretch these guys vertically, and that's number one. Two, they're going to have to protect. That O-line is going to have to protect. Nebraska comes in with 22 sacks. That O-line has to show up this week because the black shirts can't get after the quarterback, and if you do try to pass, they have the talent on the other side of the football to sack your quarterback and get after this guy and cause a whole lot of problems in what you try to do on offense. So they have to protect up front as well as make plays down the field.
You know what head coach for the Huskers, Pelini, preaches? That's defense, and that defense is getting after teams. They held the Oklahoma offense at 3 points. That's something, knowing that how that offense performs. And then Kansas, they played pretty well against. After struggling a little in the first half, they shut them down and did what they had to do in the second half. Let's talk about the quarterback play. Zach Lee has been erratic in the first half of the season. He's coming along a little. Roy Helu, the running back. What are your keys to victory for the Cornhuskers? Can they get enough offense to get by the Wildcats?
I'm going to start with number one, discipline. You have to be disciplined when you play a Bill Snyder team. You have to be prepared for a fake field goal, fake punt, all kind of reverses and everything. Discipline with penalties. No penalties this game. No turnovers. Discipline, discipline, discipline. If they just show up on discipline, they can beat Kansas State easily. Discipline to help Kansas State stay in the game. Two, they have to take Thomas out of the game. You look at Daniel Thomas for Kansas State, a phenomenal running back. He's their only option. Their only option. So you take away their only option, which they can because they can't stop the run. They should have success. I like Nebraska in this game. Nebraska is on a roll right now.
Well, wide receiver and athlete Banks for the Wildcats will need to make a lot of plays just for Nebraska to stay in it. But who knows with Nebraska? They might be on their high horses too. And then when that happens with Nebraska, you know them. The last couple of years, they've fell down and played to their competition, but they're a lot better than Nebraska, than Kansas State, so I'm going with Nebraska here also. For more, visit footballgameplan.com/NCAA.